The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, where it is a cool 101 degrees, but it feels like 106. The low tonight is 82. And we are joined live from Oxnard, California again, 2 times in 1 week. That's almost too much sexy for anybody to handle. Nate Newton, where it is 71 degrees, and it feels like 71 degrees. It's going to get all the way up to a blistering 73 there today, Nate, and a low of 59. And I have a question to start the show off. This was a conversation that was happening off the air before we came on the air. When you're in the restroom and you're standing at the urinal and you know the person next to you and you need to talk to them about something, do you have bathroom conversation? I know you don't make eye contact. You never make eye contact in the men's restroom. But is it okay to have a conversation with the man that's next to you? Or take it a step further, if you see their shoes and you know who it is, can you talk to them while they're in the stall?
You know, I hate to say this because it's setting me up for failure, but it's dependent on what you're handling, you know. So if you're not handling a lot, you may can have a conversation. But if you're handling a lot, you may have to make sure you do what is necessary. So we was talking about Brother William over here. You know, he is having a conversation in the restroom, so we know where he stands.
Or sits, depending on what he's handling. What about you, Jesse? Is it okay to talk in the restroom?
No.
No?
No.
Under no circumstance?
You give the gentleman's kind of, you know, if I see you coming in there and we're passing, how you doing?
But not while you're standing there.
Nah.
Right.
What about you, Kurt?
I've done it before. I would never do it with somebody in a stall and I'm outside of it.
Yeah.
No way. I have done it before, you know, standing there, but I'm kind of on Jesse's side more.
Well, we know where you
I ain't
stand,
interested in
Chris.
getting social media.
Yeah. And they say the more conversation you have, hey.
All right, moving on to football. Let's get off that topic. Did you go to the media party last night, Nate?
No, I didn't, and I'm happy that I didn't because, you know, inside information, a lot of people said, you know, about Zach, do we need him and do we don't need him, and some of the things that was said kind of broke my heart that I heard about, you know, we need Zach Martin. That's all I need to say.
That's all you need to say?
And I didn't go to the media party. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, what other inside info have you gotten since we last talked to you on Monday? Anything going on behind the scenes out there?
No, I did my homework for as looking at Mazi that you guys asked me to do, and I did my homework. We're looking at the backup lineman, so I did those 2 things. And other than that right there, you know, nothing has happened spectacular that would turn your head and make you say, wow, you know, this guy here showed up, but this guy didn't show up. But everything has been going to plan. 2 great days. Well, the first day, I think, was a great day of padded practice because guys were really locked in and focused and doing what they had to do. You didn't see a lot of mental mistakes out there. Second day, I didn't see it from up close. I was kind of sitting back, so I didn't get to hear the pass spot, but they did do one-on-one pass rushing the second day, and I liked it to see that right there. And Zach Martin, where are you?
Jesse, a lot of talk out of camp these first few days about how fast the receivers are, how fast this offense is. And we'll get to you in a minute, Nate, and get your take on what it looks like in real time. But it's been a long time since you've heard the wide receiver group here talk about being fast or being quick. Like, we've had a lot of good route runners. You've had a lot of technicians. but you haven't heard speed. Like, what different dynamic does speed bring to a team as opposed to just a good receiver?
Yeah, it's fear. It's fear. When you line up, when Brandon Cooks line up, when Cavani Turpin line up, the first thing the DB looks at and goes, he's fast. And that's what you want. You want to be able to line up against a guy, and the first thing that he thinks about is, okay, he can't beat me deep. So I'm already, in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking about this guy going past me. When you watch some of these route combinations that they're running, and you're seeing some of the whip routes, and you're seeing some of the long balls, stuff like that, you're seeing that happen at warp speed. Now, when you're talking about changing over to the West Coast or Texas Coast offense, you're talking about a quick timing offense where everything needs to be done at a fast pace. Windows have to be opened and closed. Ball has to be delivered. So that means I need guys that's going to be able to get there. What you have in CeeDee Lamb is a guy who's become a polished route runner. But when you start adding that speed element around, now it gives you that element of fear that secondaries have to now worry about. Safeties can't be up in the box. Guys can't be up in press coverage now. You're going to see guys playing more off coverage, more two high safeties than you will one high safety because of that type of speed. The route concepts, you're seeing less of the curl routes, less of the Harvey routes, more of the routes that are moving, the slants, the goes, the deep overs. Those type of routes that you want to get your guy in space with a bunch of speed. You know, we see it all the time with Tyreek Hill, running those deep overs. If I can get him the ball in space with the guy trailing him, I'm trusting and believing that the speed that he has is going to take a 20-yard play, make it a 40-yard play, a 40-yard play, make it a 60-yard play. And when you have those big chunks, one, it cuts down on your interceptions because you don't have to have the ball and have to have that many extra snaps for Dak Prescott, but also you're giving your team opportunity to make the big splash plays, to score touchdowns, which are important in this offense and in this league nowadays, and to give you those big chunk yards. And when you get leads in the National Football League with a team like you have, in a monster like you have with Micah Parsons, you go up 10, 14, 17 points. Now that team has to be in a mandatory pass situation. Well, then now it's fair game, and a guy like Micah Parsons can kind of be unleashed to go get the quarterback. So speed kills in all aspects of life, especially in football.
Would you rather have speed than good size, good hands, that sort of thing?
Yeah, because you can speed. You can you can't teach size, but you can catch better, right? But speed is one of those things that they can find a job for you. Speed allows people to find jobs for you, whether it's returning, punts or kicks, reverses, whatever. If you pose an element of speed, someone will always go, wow, we can use that, and they'll sign you on and bring you on.
Nate, does it look faster out there? Can you tell?
Oh, yes.
They're faster.
Yes, and this is what is so amazing is yesterday when they went early to red zone and into the, but that was popping. I mean, split second the ball was out. It was popping. When you see guys running around with that type speed, that type quickness, and knowing where to be, Dak was making it pop. And then even when he had to move around, it wasn't much, and he was getting that ball out of there because guys were breaking quickly on the rock, and it makes our DBs that much better. I mean, you play against quickness and guys that know where to be, like these guys out here are doing. Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, and I'm telling you, Michael Gallup looks like a newborn kid.
Yes.
I mean, he is bouncing around like a deer. So when you see all these guys running around in the red zone, big things are happening. Big things. Even the tight ends are saying, hey, you know, they making it happen. So the game is much quicker. I'm with you 100%, Jesse. Speed will make you back up, man. Speed will make you back up.
Jesse, like we've been hearing so far, like, you know, Tolbert's looking good, and Turpin came out and had a good day, and Brooks, the 7th round pick's looking good. But at this point, we're only a week in. Can you really get a good evaluation yet of these guys?
What you want to see is guys playing fast, right? You want to see guys being able to line up, to know their assignments, to know what they're supposed to be doing, not just with the second and third group, but when you get sprinkled in there with the ones, right? Can those guys be able to say, all right, take what you learned in the meeting room, what you learned in OTAs and minicamp, especially for guys like Jalen Tolbert. Coming into year 2, you should have a really good understanding of this offense so that now you're not so thinking about what you're doing every day at practice, but you're just going out there playing fast. And when guys can go out there and play loose and play fast, now I get a better chance to see what you are as a player. But if you're thinking and we got to constantly correct you and I can't trust you then. Now, while I'm evaluating, I'm also getting ready for the upcoming season. So if you're not keeping up with the speed of our total offense or defense evaluation and development, then I got to put a guy in there that does, because I have 10 other guys that I have to worry about. So seeing these young guys being able to have that type of exposure in camp and are doing well says to kind of almost what these guys have been saying in the offseason, that we now have a better understanding of where we're supposed to be, why we're supposed to be there, what we're doing when we get there, and doing it at a fast pace. So that helps the quarterback, that helps them, that helps the offense, but it also helps guys like Mike McCarthy, who's now the play caller, because now I can see on display all the talent that I have. And now I can go back to the lab and say, okay, I got size, I got speed, I got agility, I got this, and this. And he can continue to put together a package of plays and a plan offensively that they can run. Now, all these guys won't make this football team. We know that already. Yeah. But it's good to have a selection from those guys and see those guys learning what they're supposed to be doing during camp.
You know, the amazing thing about it is when they took off yesterday on that red zone for about 10 plays, it's like once CeeDee Lamb, once Turpin caught those first 2 touchdowns, it's like everybody was trying to make a play offensively. It just breeds confidence in the speed that these guys are doing, and like I say, coming out of their breaks. And the way they're doing it, it was a tremendous deal. They literally had our secondary just wondering what to do. I mean, Al Harris was going crazy trying to coach this guy, then coach that guy, coach Nashawn Wright, then coach the other guys. And so they dominated that period yesterday.
Hey, Nate, you going to stay with us through the second segment?
I'm staying with you.
All right.
Yes,
Nate,
sir.
Before we go, Nate, I have one quick question for Nate. Do they sell lotion in Oxnard?
Oh, Lord.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to ask a question that's football related.
That's football related as well.
Jesse trying to get you off sides. Good job, Nate. Good job by not jumping off sides.
Yes.
Before we go to break, because I want to talk about this, were you standing there watching the O-line, D-line when Micah Parsons did my good friend Tyron Smith dirty?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I want to come back and I want to get your take on what happened, because everybody in Dallas radio was talking about that. So I want to get your take on what happened when we come back on the next segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a Here Every Week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. Shannon Gross, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holly in studio. Big, lovely, sexy Nate Newton out in Oxnard, California.
With the ashy hands.
Oh,
I asked
I was wondering where you were going.
The lotion, his hands are ashy. Look at his, every time he brings his hands up, his hands are ashy. I just wanted to know.
How big his
See what I'm saying? I wanted to know if they had just a little bit of moisturizing cream anywhere in the state of California. Go down there and see our guy Brett. Go see Jim Al or somebody. They gotta have some sort of cream in there, cause that cracking of the hands and that weather is
that
just.
man alone.
It'll be like that.
Respect the elders, Jesse.
You know
I'm
what?
helping my elder.
He can say whatever he wants. I'd rather have a cracking of the hands at 73 degrees than the sweating of the gooch
That's a good point.
at
That's a good point.
105.
Fair trade out.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Our show is brought to you every single day that we do it by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. And every single second segment of this show is brought to you by blockchain.com. Blockchain.com. The last live read's the same as it was Monday. I'm just reading ahead. You know how words are really tough on me sometimes. Today is one of those days. I'm sorry. I apologize. Nate, all right. Back to some live observations, and then a follow-up question from our side, and then Jesse, we want to get your take on the follow-up question.
Yeah.
We've been hearing about Micah Parsons just wreaking havoc out there. Is it as bad as everybody's making it sound?
Yes, it is. The first day, we were doing combo runs, which is like 9 on 7, and he wrecked a few plays then. Then he went to what we call pressure, where they line up and they bring blitzes and stuff like that, and he wrecked that because Tyron and Steele are not in there. The two young guys are in there. Idaga, I'm trying to pronounce his name right, and Velasco. Those two guys are in there, and they have just been dominating at the defensive end position, him and D-Law. And God forbid they get on the same side and start running games and stunts, and boy, they just been wrecking those parts of practice when they're in there. Other than that, our offensive line has been seeming to hold up pretty well. But when Parsons is on fire, I mean, just like every other play to his side. Now, you can have 4 guys blocking well, but whether it's on Tyron or Steele or one of the backup guys, Idagwa, he is wrecking practice, man. And it's nothing you can do because you can't stop practice. You can't ask him to be less than what he is, and you can't not take him out. You can't take him out of practice. And so our offensive line, believe me, Mike Solari is working overtime on technique, toughness, do your job, hang in there, because you're not facing that guy every Sunday. You're not facing a Parsons guy every Sunday.
That was going to be my question to you, Jesse, is can you do any, like, that's disruptive, right? It's great to see on the defensive side because that means, hell yeah, this guy's living up to the hype. He's been talking the talk, he's walking the walk. But on the offensive side, you're not getting quality reps in because you're getting slaughtered on every play. Like Nate said, you can't ask him to back off. You can't take him out of practice. But what does that do to you mentally as an offensive lineman when you're just like, I don't know what to do?
Yeah, the biggest thing is for guys like Tyron, who's been around the block a couple times, right? Like, he gets it. Like, Tyron understands. When you're just faced up with, remember, Tyron came in with a veteran DeMarcus Ware. Mm-hmm. So he understands what it is to kind of be in that dominating position where it's kind of like almost like a baby. Like you start out crawling and you go out this world crawling like an older person. But for Tyron, he realizes now that, this is just what it is. He is just a monster. He is a man-child, and that's what it's going to be. The difference is you have to also understand offensively in training camp, we're not game planning for Micah Parsons. In practice right now, they're just going out there trying to run their sets. In the game, as you know, Mike Solari will tell his groups, he'll say, hey, listen, in the game, we'll have a tight end. We'll stun away from this. We'll run away from him. But right now, you got to just hunker down, do your very best to try to stop him. And then you got to coach through tape, right? You got to coach through the walkthroughs. You have to coach through the practice film. You have to coach through those type of situations. But Micah Parsons presents the same problem defensively as we talked about offensively, speed. When you have that level of speed, the first thing the tackle thinks about is, can't let him beat me around the corner. So when Micah comes off the ball and he's flying upfield and you go to kind of kick out real hard and he catches you in that mid kick and now you on one leg and he comes underneath or he gives you that kind of that old swipe and you're off balance, you're going down. And for Micah, the biggest thing that I see for him this year is, can he withstand the full-time position at defensive end?
The wear and tear.
The wear and tear. Kurt just looked it up for me. The average weight for defensive end in the National Football League, Kurt, was what?
Well, it said 270, 280. On our team, it looks more like 260, 270. Most of those guys are around 265.
What's Micah weigh?
And Micah's right now, he's
245 right now.
He's 245.
I think, but he was. This might be based on last year's stuff. He was trying to get up closer to 250.
But and here's what I told people about this as well. And Nate, you can jump in on this because Nate was kind of on the opposite end of things. It's guys who struggle keeping weight. No matter what you do in the off season, when you get in season, you're not lifting the same. Your intake is not the same. You're practicing at a much higher rate. You're doing more running. Micah Parsons is a guy who wants in on every single play. So even if he put on 10 pounds in the offseason, by the time we get to October, that weight's come back off. He's back down to 245, 250. It's not till you get later in your career or, it's the big guys who have a problem, keeping the weight off, not putting the weight on, and your metabolism slows down a little bit. For Micah, it's, we know what you can do the first half of the season. Will you be able to sustain that level of ferociousness, speed, fire throughout the duration of the season? Because the last year, the last half of the season, the last 6 games of the season, 7 games of the season, he had 1 sack. He had 1 sack the last 6 or 7 games of the season. And you can tell he come off his shoulder, his knee, his hip, his back. It's that wear and tear that you talk about all year long. And now when you're practicing the way that he's practicing, he doesn't want to come off the field, ever. Right. He don't want to come off the field, don't want to miss practices, don't want to take a play off. But you realize, can you be that dog for 17 weeks of the season? Mm-hmm. And that has become the issue with Micah Parsons, is can he do it for the whole year?
Yeah. And I don't think we're seeing, or haven't heard of any workouts at linebacker, have we? And
I haven't seen it.
Is that a misuse, so to speak?
Yeah, are they using him at all at linebacker, Nate?
No, they'll manage him. Don't worry, he'll be okay.
Like Nate said,
we all learn.
We're all right.
Yeah.
We good. We good. We good all the way around,
No. You mean to tell me we give Micah Parsons all of this credit of being this great athlete, this smart athlete, and he hasn't given it any thought on how to make adjustments as the game go on, as the season go on. The coaches, it's up to the coaches and the trainers to manage him, to help him manage himself. Yes, you're gonna have your plays, but I don't care if we get a deep kick and the guy bring it out and we on the 1 or we on the 5. Hey. No, we don't need you to do some parts. We'll wait a minute. Give him a blow right here. Give him a blow. You know what I'm saying? Take him out of the game. It is some guys you have to protect them from themselves. And if Michael wanted to stay in his league and get paid in this league a long time, he better understand. He better talk to a D. Ware. He better talk to a Charles Haley. Both undersized guys, wasn't big at their positions, So now you talk to these guys, you find out how they got through it. And because if you're only going to have 1 sack in the second half of the season, the team's going to load up on you. You don't want to have that situation. You want to be able to have them 15, 16 sacks throughout the whole season and be effective when the playoffs comes around. So he'll be smart enough to get through this. And it ain't about, I know everything's going to be all right. But if you don't understand how to pace himself and how to play this game as a veteran, and he blow himself out, oh no, he won't be all right. Maybe the rest of the team will be okay because we don't have him.
I don't think Mike has come to that point yet in his career where he understands the pace. I think he knows one speed. I think he knows competition at the highest level, 100 miles an hour. I don't think he quite understands that just yet.
If I run past him, I'm gonna ask like, look here, man, do you understand that this is 17 games? This ain't a sprint, this ain't college. This ain't a sprint, this is 17 games where somebody gonna knock your head off and gonna slow you down because you're not at your best.
All right, Nate, before we go to our next break, your guy, Mazi Smith, said yesterday, I don't even like football. I like hitting people. Now, I would like to think that you don't get to the National Football League by not liking football. I mean, there's some guys that don't love football, but I would like to think that everyone likes football, and I would like to think he was joking. But what's he been doing out there? That's your guy. You called for him. You got him. Is he living up to the hype a week into camp?
Well, you want me to get that on coming out of the break, or you want me to go into that now?
How long are you going to talk? Let's go to break.
Talk a minute.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's take our second break. When we come back, Nate's going to talk for a minute or 5.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
We are back for the final segment. Hanging with the Boys, brought to you every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Shannon Gross, Jesse Holly, Kurt Daniels in studio, Nate Newton live from Oxnard, California. And our final segment of the day is brought to you by Jigsaw, proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Nate, your guy, Mazi Smith, he likes to hit people. What have you seen at camp so far?
He played with pretty good leverage. He got good hands. He played with pretty good leverage. I saw him in pass rush, toss T.J. Bass on his neck. You know, so I mean, he bull rushed, but he bull rushed a half a man, and that puts a lot of times centers at, you know, when he come a half a man and he got his full body on your one half, it's kind of hard for you to balance. And TJ went up on one leg trying to get himself back down, and he never came back down, you know, until he was on his back. So he's been doing good, and I've used that comment before. You know, I really did. Football ain't what interests me. It's the ability to legally beat up people, and so I'm with him on that right there. You know, that you physically beat up another man, and ain't nobody gonna call assault and battery or nothing like that. So, but he's done it. But believe me, fellas, I've been looking at a little bit of this tape, and they've been punishing him too, because they know He's strong. He plays with pretty good leverage. Got decent hands at this early in training camp. So they've been double teaming him and knocking him on his rump a couple of times too. So, and he's just trying to get some payback. Because when you play over the center, or you play that two technique over the guard or the inside eye of the guard, you're going to get two or more guys on you all the time. And you're going to sometimes have tight ends blocking down on you. So he trying to get some payback, man. That's all it is. He just mad because they beating him up right now.
Nate, I got a question from an interior kind of perspective. When you hear coaches talking about right now, Mazi is learning how to just be a good run stopper, that learning how to be a good pass rusher will come later. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit? What's the difference from a young guy's perspective at that position or in the trenches of one being a run stopper and then later on learning how to be a pass rusher and then combining the two? Because we see guys like Aaron Donald who's like run stopper and get you 12 sacks a season. What is the maturation of that happening for a young guy like Mazi Smith?
Right now, what you're trying to do is ask him to stay parallel with the line. You want him to keep his body parallel with the line. You don't want him getting sideways. You want him taking up a body, getting on the center, putting both hands on the guy, and taking up and staying where he can go either way. You know, you want him to be able to stop the run. You want him 2 yards. Every time he's over the center of the guard, you want him 2 yards into that backfield. And you want that body of that center or that guard at least back a yard, which would be 2 yards for him. And that's what you want. Now, when you get guys start turning sideways and twisting it, trying to turn their bodies, now you help create holes. They don't want him to create any holes unless it's coming from his side. He want the linebacker behind him coming downhill. He has done a great job early in this camp of making sure his linebacker, whether it's the Mike backer at a two technique over a guard or it's the wheel linebacker coming from that nose position looping around, you want these guys running free. You want them running free, man, and that's what he's been able to do a couple of times to let guys run free. Jabril Cox is shooting every gap, sometimes to his own detriment, because these big guys, him and Jonathan Hanks, have been opening up holes by eating up bodies.
Man, this doesn't, like, this gets me excited. It gets me
a little football horny.
Yeah,
I got you.
Because everything we're talking about, this team is multi-dimensional now. Like, they've always been missing, like they had good route runners, but they didn't have speed. Right. Now they got speed. You had good linebackers, but you didn't have run stoppers, and that caused you to get kicked out of the playoffs a couple of years in a row. And now it's like, okay, you got this, and then Nate says, okay, Jabril Cox is shooting the gaps. Mike and Tank are disruptive. Offensive lines where you don't hear but I mean, when your defense is that good, you can't both be standouts, right? Somebody's gonna get beat every day, right? But I mean, it's just everything we're talking about is like this is another level than what they've always had, and it's like because usually you're like, we're really good here.
Well, for years it's been on offense.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about defense and not only the linebackers, but now you got corners and safeties, and now you got guys up front. It's like, okay, what's gonna go wrong? Like what?
Stay healthy.
What's gonna go wrong?
Micah, stay off the quarterback. That's the first thing. Stay off the quarterback, Micah, because it can go really wrong really fast, and Micah keeps coming in there falling on Dak Prescott's legs.
The thing is, it reminds me of early in our career once Charles Haley showed up for us. And our practices was hard. And if you attack this the right way, like Jesse was talking about earlier, if you as an offensive lineman attack this the right way, I don't care how hard it gets for me, because going against Leon Lett was always a job for me. He was a better athlete. He was smart. Charles Haley was a threat being next to him. So you always work on your technique. You keep working on your technique. You got to believe that if you keep working on your technique and you stay mentally tough to do your job, to do the best you can, to give that maximum effort when you're in there your 4 or 5 plays, the season going to turn out okay. Our problem is going to be this number 66 T.J. Bass. Is he going to develop enough to give Matt Forniak a run at that second backup guard? Is Iguodala, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this guy's name right. Is he going to be enough to play that left tackle if something happened to Tyron Smith? It's some questions got to be answered, man. Brock Hoffman, he's the backup center right now. He goes in second. He's kind of light. So what are these guys going to do? Josh Ball, he didn't have a great pass protection or pressure pass segment yesterday. So what are these guys going to do? That's why I was kind of joking at the beginning of the show, like, where are you, Martin? Where are you? Because but it's only been 2 days. This preseason for our offensive line, they cannot wait to get these guys into the preseason as a unit for as the backups to see what these guys are going to do, because out here in practice, they've been struggling now. I mean, they look okay at times, but a lot of times they are struggling, and it's maybe because the guys are good on defense, but we won't know until we get into the preseason.
Did you guys talk about the pass protection on Monday and how that's supposed to be changing? Like,
no, they did not.
Yeah, I guess, Nate, maybe you can speak to this. Like, McCarthy has said one of the biggest changes to the offense is the pass protection. And I know nothing about, what could be changing, how difficult it is to change, how long that's going to take to figure out. Is that something that, I guess, how are they approaching that? How are they managing that?
It's just, like I said, they doing the thing, they call it a new thing where before we call it blitz drill, me and you, Jesse. But they call it pressure because they don't change the plays, the routes. The routes just change depending on how the secondary look or how the linebackers look. And you as offensive lineman, if they do change the play, you as offensive lineman got to know right away. It ain't zero hold to this, and this. You got to know because the whole play can possibly change. So you got to be a little bit more sharper. But what Coach is talking about is when we have our first unit in there, they look pretty good, barring number 11. Other than that, they look pretty good. Even the backups, barring number 11, they look pretty good in there. And they look, and I'm just being honest. When this kid get in there, everybody else turn into superheroes when it comes a pass rush situation with that guy in there. Man, now they can take him out and put Fowler in there, and we're a little bit more competitive offensively across the line.
All right.
That's what I've seen.
Hot sports prediction time. All right. We talked about this a little bit on Monday, Jesse. So Ronald Jones got himself suspended first 2 games of the season, right? On 105.3, The Fan, the flagship station of the Dallas Cowboys, they point blank asked Jerry, will Ezekiel Elliott be on this team come start of the season? And Jerry left the door wide open. And I think his response was, we're reading the tea leaves right now, which means you're saying there's a chance. Jesse.
Are those tea leaves or tree leaves?
I don't know. But, all right, true or false, Ezekiel Elliott will be on this team when the season starts? False. Kurt.
Unequivocally.
No way. McCarthy kind of closed the door on that some. So now, it's just Jerry. I don't remember exactly, but he kind of let it be known. No, we're moving on. He wants to give the young guys a chance. He doesn't want to stop their development. They've moved on.
Because the coach on this team has never said anything, and then ownership did
That's true.
opposite.
That is true. Jerry will do what he wants to do, but I think he's just working the media. He also knows how to work the media.
Yeah. Nate, what do you think? Nate's asleep.
Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis are our guys.
Yeah.
There's our backup running back starting the season. Yes, sir.
So
I don't know what happened 3 games in, but I know Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis need to show up so we can have our 3 running backs going with Tony Pollard leading the pack.
Do you keep Ronald Jones around?
Who?
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones.
The running back that got suspended.
Oh. Who is he?
I guess that's Nate's answer.
All right, before we get out of here, Kurt, you go first. Is there anybody you want to know a little scouting report on that Nate may have got watched some film or got to see in person out there?
Wow, that's a good question.
Sorry to spring that.
Yeah, you sprung it on me. I don't know. I mean, we've been hearing a lot about these young wide receivers and how they're progressing. I'd like to know how some of these young corners are doing.
Yeah.
We've heard some about Nashawn Wright, but
Jalen Brooks, he has been getting open, and I want to talk to one of the coaches. Just, is this guy for real? I mean, because I don't care whether Dak is throwing to him or one of the other backup quarterbacks, he makes a play a day. And it's just, is this like any other rookie? Making it, y'all making sure y'all make, have him in successful plays. He makes a play a day at least.
I feel like we said the same thing last year about Houston.
Yeah.
Right? We said the same thing last year about Houston.
There's always one.
There's always like, Houston. And it was like,
there's always one, and then it's like,
we're 7 games, we're 7 weeks in the season. It was like, what happened to that guy?
Lights come on.
What happened to that guy, Houston? Where is he?
I was never big on Houston. I was never big on Houston, and I'm not big on this guy. But y'all asked, and I got to find out. He makes a play a day, and it be big. Whether he started that red zone thing yesterday. He started that by making a big play. He just seems to come open.
Did he make his big play on Boss Man Fat?
He done made him on everybody, man. He done made him on Gilmore too.
Yeah. You don't hear anything.
Yeah,
you just hear him about.
He'll get a play a day, man.
Every clip that I see, like whether it's CD or it's Cooks or Boss Man Fat.
There's certain guys I don't even know their name.
Yeah.
There's certain guys I don't. Who you talking about?
Hey, there's no point. There's no point in learning them until the season starts, because half of them aren't gonna be here.
You need to give that number one up.
Jesse, any
Ronald Jones, Boss Man Fat. Who are these guys?
Jesse, anybody you want to know the lowdown on?
Yeah, I mean, I've yet. We're 2 weeks into camp. I've yet to hear a play from the tight ends. I've yet to hear one ooh, one ah. I've yet to hear anything, like, not anything bad, but I've yet to hear anything like, man.
They're practicing well as a group.
Yeah, like I've yet to hear anything outside of, someone's not practicing today, or I want to see something from the tight end. Not that I'm worried about that group, but I want to see something from the tight end group to let me know that
maybe you should be worried.
We're good. We're good. We're good at the tight end group. So yeah, for me, the tight ends, I want to see something with that.
Okay. Jake is practicing okay. Hendershot, he's catching everything they throwing to him. So it's nothing more I can say. The other big kid is over there working with our guy. So rehabbing. So that's about it. Sean McKeon, he's okay, but the other two guys they doing their jobs. And, they're just not Dak's pet rattlesnakes or whatever you want to call them, pet cats or what Shannon like to say.
Before we leave, Nate, we're running close on time. How does 4 look?
Right.
How does Dak look?
Sharp.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, he looks sharp. Yeah. He looks sharp.
Is McCarthy just in his hip pocket every practice, every play, right there with him?
Every practice, man. I mean, every practice he asking him what he saw, how he feel, and
I love it.
When Dak take off jogging, coach just kind of, walk real fast behind him and get left.
He needed one of them segues like Dion got. He didn't get one of them segues like Dion.
Yeah, zip around.
Oh, hold on, Dak, hold on.
Get him a rascal.
Yeah.
All right, Nate.
I remember the first day he tried to jog. The first day he tried to jog with him, and then all of a sudden he just waved his hand like, "I get over there when I get over there." Start the play.
Well, Nate, this has been great, man. You gonna come back Friday and talk to us?
Yeah, Jesse should be out here soon, so we should have half the group out
when
here
you
soon.
heading out, Jesse?
I'm trying to get out next week.
Next week, yeah. All right. Well, cool.
I'll be in the middle of the week. I'll be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Nate. Appreciate it, man. Jesse, awesome. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
Kurt, thanks for being here. Nate, thanks for calling in. Brother Will, thanks.
Nate, give us a fist bump.
Thanks for getting us up on the. Nate, give us a fist bump. There you go.
Look at them knuckles. Look at them knuckles.
I get some hog grease.
Look at them hands.
Man.
I get some hog grease and food.
Those are some adventurous hands.
That's what happens
right there.
when eat when you cook your own fried chicken and put it in flour.
Man, God, look at them grippers.
Brother Will, thanks for keeping us on the air. Thanks to everybody in the back. Thanks for everybody in the studio. We will be back on Friday, same time, same place, and another 100-plus degree day here in Dallas. Nate in his little 70-degree hut out there in Oxnard. We'll see you Friday. This has been another episode of Hangin' with the Boys.
We out.
Yay.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!